Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 12th of November. Starting with the FTSE 100, which is just hanging by a thread at the floor of the recent price channel there from back in May. That's around 80.60. And end of day close below that, we've got the risk of a move down to testing August support there towards the 7,900 level. I think the low there around the 79.15 level. Only an end of day close back above the 200-day moving average, currently around 8100, really delays the potential breakdown there. And to be really safe, we need to be back in the channel from this time last year, the rising trend channel, 8130. So a lot of work to do there. The negative at the moment is the way that we've had now two, or actually three failures of the RSI at or below the 50 level. That last little kink there suggesting that we are going to roll over and go down. But anyone 30 plus is the level to break to negate that particular negative scenario. Moving on to the DAX, and here in rather better shape, even though we've gapped down initially, still above that rising 50-day line there at 19,000. Looking for a break of that October resistance line there at 19,500 to give us a move up to the top of the rising trend channel from this time last year, 20,500 by the end of the year. Maybe if we're really lucky by the end of this month, but I suppose the end of the year is more conservative. On the downside, not expecting anything lower than the floor of the channel there. Around the 18,900 level. Worst case, obviously, is we've got to test the 200-day line once again, as we did back in August. RSI at 51, so still just about holding on the half-full basis rather than half-empty. Dow is next, and here we've we're trying to hit the that resistance line projection there from back in August, 45,000, the level there, and looking for that while we're above the old targets, 43,700, which was the top of that rising trend channel from last year. Obviously, quite a divergence here between the Dow and the European indices that we look at. Worst case at the moment is we need to test for support at the top of the latest gap there, 42,900, but obviously the way things are going, looks as though we are trying to break up, or break higher, but really with the gap through resistance. Moving along to Bitcoin, which is certainly the star of the show at the moment. Massive move. We were looking for 87,000 by the end of this month. We got it by, I suppose, the end of this week, or before the end of this week. Just tipping there at 90,000, and we're looking for the next level up, but while we're above the 88, that resistance line target there at 87,800, looking for a fresh leg to the upside. Just where that could go is suggested by the line I'm about to draw at the moment, which is heading for up to 100,000, the magic number there. That is an April resistance line projection. On the downside, hopefully stay above yesterday's support at 80,000. Worst cases, we've got to test 75,000, the old resistance area and bull flag breakout area, before we head higher again. Moving along to gold, and here the rug has been rather pulled. We've gone actually much lower than perhaps we were expecting, below the 50-day line there at 26.60. We've actually now tested the October support there, which is obviously very disappointing. And below that October support, the next level down would be the old August resistance area, 25.60, which certainly would be rather painful given that we were trading at 2,800 as early as the beginning of this month. RSI failure at neutral 50 as well was the leading indicator on the downside. If you're looking for the longer term trend line, it's probably the line that I'm drawing at the moment, which means hopefully we will find support there where we are at the moment, so around 26.10, 26.20. Moving on to crude oil, which I haven't looked at for a few days, and here still in a range, basically peaking out just above the falling 50-day line and looking for potentially a move down to the floor of that falling trend channel from this time last year, as low as 64.25, before we can try and recover. Moving on to the stocks, and a few from the Aquis market, which seems to be celebrating, well, there's some stocks celebrating the takeover of that particular exchange, starting off with Aqru, and here you can see that I've got a rising trend channel base, and the floor of that channel basically running around the 0.22 level. Above that, looking for as high as 0.5 pence by, well, I suppose by the end of the year, if we're lucky, given that we've had the breakthrough recent resistance around 0.25, so about 0.25. Looking for 0.5 and enjoying the way that the 50-day moving average and the 200-day lines are both rising at the moment. Stock that I don't normally look at, but it's here today, ConvaTec. We've gapped through the 200-day moving average. It's a bear trap gap reversal, and the longer we stay above that 200-day line at £2.46, the greater the chance of a move up to £2.82, the top of that triangle there from December last year. Ideally, there's an end-of-day close today above £2.55, which was basically May to July resistance for the shares. Expecting the companies which are exposed to the digital assets and Bitcoin to do well at the moment, and we've got that with Coinsilium. We've broken through recent resistance, which is what we were wanting the shares to do, 2.25 pence, above 2.25, looking for 3.8 pence, hopefully as soon as the end of this month. I suppose we could leave it till the end of next month, the end of the year, but at the moment it looks as though the shares with the 50 and 200-day lines both rising, going into a golden cross, and hopefully heading higher while we're above 2.25 pence. Even better at the moment is KRON, which is one of the biggest companies on Aquis. Here you can see that we've gapped up again after it was bear trap island reversal, so a very strong pattern there, gapping down in August, gapping up in November, and the current position is we've got the 200-day line now rising and looking for the shares to hit the top of that broadening triangle from this time last year as high as £1.26, and maybe we'll get that by the end of next month, ideally by the end of this month. Moving on to MetalNRG, where there was an RNS today, and that maybe helped the price action, well, slightly anyway. It looks as though we found the floor of the channel there from back in April, the floor of the channel around 0.3 pence above that, at least looking for a rebound back towards the 0.5 pence area by the end of this month. But if we do break back below 0.3, we've got the risk of having to test the 200-day moving average at 0.22 before a sustained recovery can take place. US expansion news today has helped Ondo again. It's like, I think, the third gap to the upside that we've had in the recent past, and looking for the shares to close above the initial November resistance there at 26 pence, head up to 32 pence by the end of this month, while we're above the 26 pence level. Moving on to a stock which doesn't get much coverage again, which is ProCook, but here we've hit our initial target there, the top of that rising trend channel from back in January at 39 pence, above that looking for 50 pence, and a November 2023 resistance line projection, hopefully as soon as the end of this month, given the way that we've had bear trap hard and reversal, got rising 50 and 200-day lines, and we've gapped up to start this week. Quantum blockchain back again, and perhaps not surprisingly, we've hit the second target there, the red line, around 105, and looking for the next level up, which suppose would quite logically be the line I'm drawing at the moment, so the upper parallel of the two target lines we had before, 1.9 pence, maybe as soon as the end of next month, while we're above the 1 penny area. Moving along to Star, which I don't think I've covered for ages, Star Energy here. You can see we've broken out of that falling wedge and the 50-day line there at around 7.2 pence. Above that, looking for 11.5 pence, maybe as soon as the end of this month. Finishing off with Thruvision, and here you can see that we've had a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down last month and gapping up this month. We can close above a recent resistance around 9.5 pence, or stay above that, then we could have a move back towards 13 or 14 pence, the area of the gap down and the 50-day moving average, maybe later this month, but I imagine the spread there is wider than the Atlantic, and the liquidity not great either. But that's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.